Hey, this is Helen Mitis, and today I've got a topic that I've been thinking about because I saw a post on Insta yesterday, which I thought was interesting and got me thinking. So, this is something I think about a lot. I think about relationships a lot. And the reason that I think about it a lot is I really, truly believe what Esther Perel says about relationships, which is the quality of your relationships determine the quality of your life. And so you would know yourself that when you're in a good place in your life, it's usually because you're in a really good place in your relationships. And your relationships do determine how happy you are overall. And so what got me thinking was yesterday, one of the Insta pages that I follow, it's actually a Elvis Presley page, but the author of that page just had a baby, and she's putting a lot of baby pics up there. And she had a beautiful picture on a story of her and her partner's hands like this. So she's holding the baby here, and she's got a picture of her and her partner's hands just beautifully, lovingly in this embrace. And she circled that on her Insta post and wrote, important. And I replied back to her and said 100%, because that is so important to maintain and to nurture. So when we first have children, we are so in this zone of, doing everything for our child, and as much as we can as mothers, and forgetting other things, because this is the focus, this is the most important thing in our life. But by her doing this picture of her holding her child, but on the other hand also embracing her partner's hand, is such a beautiful picture of not forgetting the other part. With the clients that come in here at HypnoFit, we often find that where the relationship goes bad with our clients, and our male clients that come in and talk to us, and they've got all this emotion that's stuck inside them, what we usually find is that the relationship turned at the point that they had children. And that's because all of the mother's joy goes to one place. All her energy goes to one place. By the time she's there talking to her husband or her partner, she's exhausted, she's not finding things funny anymore, she's not adventurous, and so she's not giving her partner anything of her because she's already spent. So what we need to make sure as partners, as women, is that we don't let that go. We don't let nurturing our partners go. We can do both. It doesn't have to be this or this. It doesn't have to be only loving our children and only taking care of our children, or loving our partner. It can be both. And it is so important to keep that relationship going with passion and desire and adventure with our partner, for so many reasons, for our own emotional well-being, so that we can feel supported when we need them. We give to them and we get back from them. And also with your children growing up, they then have a really great role model of what a great relationship looks like, feels like, what it is. So, so often we see households where really it's almost like the alpha pack is the mother and the children, and the husband's just on this side all by himself. So there's a separateness in the family, mother and kids, and then husband. That needs to be brought back together, and it is just as important to nurture this relationship with the husband as it is with the children, because there will come a time when there's going to be consequences with not taking care of that part of your life. And I know that as women, it's quite exhausting, It's exhausting to be doing everything and to be everyone for everyone. But when you give that kind of love, attention, care to your partner, you will get it back tenfold and you will feel supported when you need it. So it's so important for so many reasons. So how do you do that? That's the next question. So I've given you all the whys in terms of why we need to do that, why we need to keep our man happy. And the second part is, how do we keep them happy? And really, in terms of the male psyche, the number one need that males have is the need to feel significant and important in your life. You often see this in situations where the male in the family has to travel a lot, and the woman then becomes completely independent, doesn't need the partner, doesn't need the husband. She takes care of everything because the male is away so much. And then what happens is when the male returns back to the house, then it's almost like, I don't need you, you're just being a nuisance, and that is felt by them. Now, these are real examples that I'm giving. These are actual client stories that I have. And so then the male is feeling not important, not significant in his partner's life. And so they go and search for significance elsewhere. And that elsewhere might be at work, where somebody is suddenly, attention from a female colleague is quite often what actually happens. And so somebody else gives him the attention that he so desperately needs. And that attention is to feel important in that person's life. And so what we need to do is make sure that, we allow our men to feel important, to feel significant, to feel that they matter, to feel that they are part of the decision-making process. Now, this is something that I've had to learn along the way, because with the way that I operate, and I used to operate, no longer, but what I used to do is pretty much make the decisions about everything in my life, because I am that kind of person. And what that does is it pushes away your male partner, because then they're not feeling like they're needed. They're not feeling like they're significant. They're not feeling like they matter. They're not feeling like their decisions matter. When really, as women, we need to step back into our feminine self and allow ourselves to be taken care of and nurtured and supported, because we've gone to the other extreme. Back in the day, we had to reclaim our power as empowered women because it was taken away from us. And then we stepped into our power, and this is definitely what I did, stepped into our power. And at that point, we stepped into this masculine energy. And this masculine energy can be exhausting. Believe me, I have been there. It's exhausting because you feel responsible for everything. You have to take care of everything. And you just don't, it's overwhelming and really hard work. But when we step away from our masculine energy back into our feminine self and allow our men to emotionally take care of us and mentally take care of us, and say to them, this is what I need from you, then it's a win-win for everybody, because we feel stronger and supported, and we feel like that feminine energy, which is just such a beautiful, lovely, peaceful, harmonious space to live in. It doesn't mean that we don't step up into masculine energy when we need to, like, for instance, when I've got tradespeople here in the house, or when I'm doing some kind of business deal or something like that. It doesn't mean that I don't step back into my masculine energy. It just means that with my relationship, I'm definitely my feminine self and not my masculine self. And that way, I help my man feel important, significant, needed, and I feel supported, loved, and nurtured. And that is a win-win for everybody. I hope that's been helpful. And if you have found yourself in that sort of scenario, very happy to help you here at HypnoFit to get that balance right. So 1300 797 622 is the number at hypnofit.com. Very happy to do that for you. All right then, see you later.